we've managed to sail 60,000 miles for about, what, 6-7 years and avoid every single hurricane, typhoon, cyclone, whatever you want to call it.
Dużych, obfitych opadów. Przepraszam. Czegoś takiego jeszcze nie widziałem. Wczoraj tu jeszcze wieczorem byłem. To wszystko się tutaj porozwalało, porozsypywało.
Hi guys. So we've managed to sail 60,000 miles for about, what, 6-7 years and avoid every single hurricane, typhoon, cyclone, whatever you want to call it. And it's the last thing that we could imagine is that to get hit in Poland, here in Poland. So we're in a shipyard, something called locally Orcan, which is basically effectively a deep low with high winds, hit Gdańsk, and we're looking at 60-70 knot winds. And unfortunately, the worst fear about our tent has come true. Unfortunately, we are 400 kilometers away from the boat, so we can't really do anything ourselves. But let's have Adam, our boat's guardian angel, show us around what happened. He's just coming around the corner and noticed that the tent is gone. I'm approaching the boat and I can see the hulls, I can see the entire pulley, so everything seems to indicate that the entire tent has flown away. I can see the hulls. I was here last evening and everything was still in place, intact, and now everything is gone. It's a disaster.
Jesus. Folia odkryta kompletnie. Niestety stała się rzecz najgorsza.
Unfortunately, the worst thing that could have happened to the tent has happened. It literally flipped over in its entirety. Somehow, the anchoring on the windward side of the tent has let go and allowed the entire tent to lift, fill up with wind, and flipped over right over the deck. Then it landed squarely into the yacht basin of the marina. Thank God there was no yachts on the way, so there's absolutely no damage to anybody or anything on the way. The only victim is the tent itself. There are a few scratches on the boat, but absolutely minor. Unfortunately, 60 to 70 knots of wind, pretty much anything can happen. Luckily, Poli is pretty much safe. Everything is closed up, it's watertight, so nothing really other than few minor scratches happened to it. Everything is fine. We're just gonna have to think how we reconstruct the tent to do the rest of the work. Probably in bits and pieces, not the whole thing again anymore. Now we just have to tidy up here, secure things, make sure the tools don't get damaged, and clean up. And then we're gonna have to clean up the tent from the basin. Right now it's stable, but obviously it cannot stay that way.
Na szczęście panele są wszystkie w całości. Chwała Bogu.
More good news is that all the solar panels are intact. No damage to them.
Ale jest okej.
Here you can see the view from the deck of Poli onto the yacht basin, where the tent, almost in its entirety, is laying in the water. Stable, without any damage to anything. Beautiful structure that has survived 180-degree turn, almost entirely intact. So the question is, what now? We technically need roof in order to finish some of the things, but we really don't have to have a roof over the entire boat. We can do it in sections. So that is something we're going to have to think about, how to arrange things in order to finish certain sections. Currently the boat is already painted on the bottom, so it's safe to stay in the rain, and the top is pretty much prepared for repainting. So it would have been nice to have that tent for another month. Nobody really expected this.
Wiatry północne w Zatoce Gdańskiej mają
Strong northerly winds cause a storm surge, and water piles up from the bay into the yacht basin. Right now, there's only 50 centimeters left before the water would overflow. Normally, this gangway is more like steep stairs, so the water is at least 1 meter higher in Baltic Sea, where there is no tides.
Zawsze na końcu niżu można spodziewać się
Everlow has its gusty winds and big rain. Here it is.
Oto one.
There is no damage to the boat, at least nothing extensive other than maybe a few scratches here and there. And the good news is too, is that we were just past all the stages where we closed up everything and everything is watertight. So the boat is basically back to its boat state, meaning if there's a rain coming down on it or anything like that, there's no problem with it. There's no holes exposed. So that's the good news too. Of course, we're going to have to reconstruct the tent because we have some painting to do and a few other things on the outside. But we're going to be back in the shipyard sometime soon and we'll show you what's going on. See ya.
Segredos da floresta de luz, Pachamama, abre a consciência dos seus filhos a crescer.